Medina's house, studying medical treatment on Shabbat. That's why continuing. We're on page 81, Halacha. It's Shimon 328. Halacha 87. So we asked if today we're going to discuss interesting topics. Number one, it's a very common question. If one can use cream, lotion on Shabbat. What about baby oil? What about exercising on Shabbat? Is that permitted? Can I gargle? Can I do push-ups? Can I do some exercise to the degree that I will sweat? Maybe take a shower later. Can go like that to show. If someone used to jog every morning for his health, Shabbat comes, can he do that? What about walking after eating on Shabbat the Kiddush? You know, it's heavy food sometimes, we eat a lot. If I just want to go walking out, not for the sake of fresh air. I just want to walk outside for the sake of health. So is that considered some sort of medical treatment? Is that permitted on Shabbat? What about people that wants to do a diet on Shabbat? Is that permitted? Is it permitted on Shabbat to sit in the sun in order to become a suntan? Is that permitted on Shabbat? All these questions, God willing, we're going to discuss today. Whoever hears us live, Shalom Aleichem, Doug and David, God bless. You should answer Amen to the Beracha when you hear it live. Baruch ato Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol nihiyo bidvaro. Amen. Okay, so the halacha says, we've learned last time, if you have a spray that you want to use to freshen your breath, you may use it on Shabbat, no problem. It's not considered as a medical treatment on Shabbat. Now, it is permissible to rub one's hands. It's regard to the oil and the lotion and the cream. It says it's permissible to rub one's hand with oil if it is pleasurable, as long as his hands are not chapped on and he does not need the oil as a treatment. It's something probably he's doing every day. He's doing tilat yadayim in the morning, she'atzah, and he always puts cream or oil. Now, please pay attention. This is we're talking about oil. It's liquid. Unlike heavy, thick cream, which is forbidden on Shabbat. Ashkenazi permit to put in a certain point and they smear it by itself. It's okay to use a liquidish cream. Some of them are usually the cheap one. They're very liquidish and they can use. Or you can use what you like, prepare yourself, just add water to it. And what's the test? You take this cream, you pour it. If it comes out, it means this is liquidish. If those you press and the cream comes up like that, this is not permitted to be used. It's thick, almost like Vaseline. Okay? It is also forbidden, however, to supply oil on one's skin and to rub it in forcefully. For this reason, even a healthy person may not have a vigorous massage, but he may have a mild massage. Someone who has sprained his back or neck and is in a terrible pain and must rest in bed is considered to be moderately ill. He may have even a vigorous massage on Shabbat. It's part of Shabbat pleasurable time and so forth and so on. Okay? So that's the idea. You may use liquid baby's oil on Shabbat, and any cream, any lotion that is also liquid form.
And if it's not liquid, then you just add a little bit of water and it's good.
Before Shabbat.
Oh, before. Oh.
You can't do it on Shabbat itself. Okay? So before Shabbat, you prepare, this is your lotion for Shabbat. Some people cannot stand it. Every morning they have a very dry skin and they suffer. They're literally suffering. Dry skin makes them bother them and they scratch it. It's ruined the Shabbat. Especially in the face, under the eyes, around the nose. And this is something they used to do. So prepare yourself. Now let's talk a little bit about exercising on Shabbat. It's debate among the rabbis, the poskim. Some poskim rule that it is forbidden to do exercise on Shabbat, even if the exercise does not cause one to work up a sweat, since this is a weekday activity. So if it's a weekday activity, leave it to the weekday's activity. Shabbat is a special day. You dedicate for Seudot, for Torah learning, relaxation, on next Shabbat. If you need to go ahead and lift heavy weights, somebody could be muktzeh, or let's say you do without lifting weights. Let's say you do push-ups, okay, or push down, or whatever you want to call it. So it's also working out some sort of sweat, and it's not so simple. Okay, so what's the idea here? The idea here is it forbidden or is it permitted to do hit'amlut, exercise on Shabbat? Can I go to LA Fitness on Shabbat?
Oh no. Oh no.
Can I go to the JCC? Unfortunately, it's open on Shabbat. Okay, so the halacha says that some poskim says no, some poskim say yes. So some poskim rule that it is forbidden to exercise only when one plans to work up a sweat. This is forbidden on Shabbat since it is considered a medical treatment and it is included in the general prohibition against all medical treatments, as long as the person does not intend to work up a sweat. However, it is permitted technically. The halacha is like the second opinion, but it is most fitting to refrain from all exercising on Shabbat. Anyone who does refrain from it will receive a special blessing from heaven. So, yes, you may do some exercise, you may do some push-ups, you can stretch your back, you can stretch your body, you can take it lightly. You cannot do exercise like you do on the weekdays. You definitely cannot go to LA Fitness or just even if you walk, even if you don't need to show them anything, because there is a music there, they have a muktzeh. It's not activity that's suitable for the Shabbat or Yom Tov. At your home, at your own private area, it's fine, it's different. Okay? What about walking after eating? It's a great custom people have. By the way, it's also recommended every time you have food to walk a little bit. Anytime, during the weekdays also. Rabbi says in the Gemara, I think it was Rabbi Yehuda, he says in the Gemara that he can heal anybody for any type of sickness in the world, except the one that never eats, never walk for 2 or 3 meters, few steps after he eats. He said that the sicknesses that comes as a result of no activity after eating, it's devastating.
Wow.
And especially those days, they used to eat while they're leaning on the left side, on cushions, on low seats. Even today, people in Arab countries eat that way. Or in Asia, they sit on the floor. I know in Morocco, in Yemen, they sit on cushions. Some of them, it's heavy food, they can fall asleep. And they've been doing it for years. Every lunch. That can bring a lot of great sicknesses. Okay? And he says every time you eat, after you eat, you should walk a little bit. Let the body work, help you digest the food. So what about Shabbat? If I walk, it's for health reasons. Is that considered a medical treatment on Shabbat? So the halacha says that it is permissible to go out for a walk on Shabbat after eating, even if one does so for one's health, since it is not obvious that to the observer that this is one's intention. You walk, everybody walks on Shabbat. So they don't know if this is for health reason or no health reason, and all good. Comprende? See. What about jogging? People like to jog. People jogging every morning. Is that permitted to jog on Shabbat?
No.
I'm not talking the whole week, I'm talking Shabbat only. So Elishama thinks that this is not permitted, and we'll see what Allah has to say about it. If it's permitted, you're going to start jog.
For exercise? No.
Exercise, no.
Someone who jogs every morning for his health and works up a sweat in the process must
Continue.
refrain from jogging on Shabbat.
You see?
He may walk briskly, okay, softly, easily. However, in a manner that does not cause him to sweat. So still, you can walk outside. You can do even a little bit,
Power walking?
power walking, okay, but not running. By the way, running is permitted on Shabbat only for very few little cases. Who can tell me what cases? It's permitted on Shabbat to run, not as jogging,
Yeah.
but running on Shabbat.
I know.
Can you add the hot water?
One of them is from your home straight to the synagogue. You cannot stop, so you have to keep going. The other one is if it starts raining, you're walking out of the synagogue, you can run.
Okay, so you're very close. So Jesse says, Toda Rabba. Jesse says that running from home and you don't stop. First of all, you can stop. Secondly, why would one would run to shul? Because it's late. So if that causes you to run, come out late earlier. But definitely you can run because people know that you run to shul.
Yeah.
It's not jogging. For a sake of mitzvah. Some says even if you leave the shul, they know now you're running for kiddush.
Yeah.
If it's an emergency, save someone's life. Now,
Good also to sweat. The sweats.
sweat is not good on Shabbat. Separate on Shabbat. If the result of it will be that you sweat, it's not up to you. But if someone will see you running in the middle of the day of Shabbat, there is no tefillah, kiddush is over, they won't know that you run for someone sick, to save someone's life.
Right.
If they know that you're a doctor, they know, oh, probably there's an emergency. So what's going to be the cheshbon now? He says, now can I run or I cannot run? The halacha says, you don't even think about it. If it's about saving people's life, you run. No, regardless of what other people think. Because you're endangering the patient's life. Why are you running? You're running to call a doctor. You're running to get a phone, or whatever. Okay, so under some circumstances, it is permitted to run on Shabbat. Jogging, prohibited.
No can do.
Okay? You can have a power walk, no problem. Someone who suffered from a heart attack and has been ordered by his doctor to do certain exercises daily may do these exercises even on Shabbat, and even if his intention is to work up a sweat. This person has a status of someone moderately ill and therefore may engage in medical treatment on Shabbat. Understood? Fahimt?
Yes.
Only if the health is endangered, you may.
Not because the doctor gave you the.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, if someone I don't know, they started this workout procedure and they can't stop on Shabbat because you have to keep going.
Okay,
It's prohibited.
תודה. Thank for the repeating of the halacha. Jesse, we move to the next one. The next one is diet. Someone wants to do diet on Shabbat. I just heard on YouTube, I think it was the other day, the chief rabbi of Israel, Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef, talking about this halacha. That people taking diet on Shabbat. They don't eat, they refrain from eating any sort of bread.
Right. Because they're in a diet.
Right. So the rabbi said, on Shabbat, stop with your diet. You have to eat kazait, at least 26 to 56 grams. So eat on Shabbat, quit a little bit on the diet. Nothing's going to happen to you. Because some people refrain from eating even bread of a motzi. I'm on a diet. So strict diet that you don't fulfill the mitzvah of Shabbat Saudah. So eating kazait, let's say 60 grams, not going to do anything to you. Okay, don't take advantage and eat the whole challah. Says Perina Shabbat, I'm not going to get fat. You're going to get fat from it. Okay? But at least make efforts on Shabbat to eat the kazait. Okay, so it says that in Shabbat, is it okay to do diet or not? It says that it is permissible to follow a diet on Shabbat even though one eats less than one would otherwise desire. Okay? One must make sure only to eat enough bread to fulfill the mitzvah of eating Shabbat meals. Capish? Need to repeat that? Good. Yes? Dieta? No Shabbat.
Dieta in Shabbat.
I mean, you can cut the amount of food you eat.
Yeah.
Any other type of food you eat on Shabbat can be under the diet guidance. That's fine. But bread you must eat, and the whole 3 meals. Rishonah, Shniya, Shilishit, all 3 Saudot. The third one, some says the most, according to the Kabbalah, is the most important meal. So people skip it by studying Torah, or by eating mezonot, or fruit. This is not okay, according to the halacha. But Rabbi, I'm so full, I'm so this. Well, prepare yourself. In meal number 2, Saudah number 2, eat just enough, knowing that in certain months you'll eat 3-4 hours later. Sometimes you eat 6-7 hours later. Depends on the time of the sunset. Okay? So the halacha says strictly, one has to be wise to calculate his plans, knowing you have special soda next. Don't put so much food in you. You won't be able to eat anything after that. And it's your fault. On Shamayim, they ask you, why didn't you eat soda shilishit? Well, you know, I was so full. I was so full, so why did you eat so much? My soda shilishit is not important? Sometimes the halacha teaches us to eat. Sometimes it says to refrain from eating. When refrain from eating, I'm not talking about fast days. I'm talking about, so you have an appetite. When Passover is coming up, Passover is right around the corner. So the eve of Pesach, I think this year is going to be on Monday. They said every year it's the same halacha. One should not eat anything till the Seder. Here or there you can take a drink. It's not a fast day. A fruit a little bit. Why? Because it's halacha. You must eat matzah with appetite. If you're full, every year here in America, you're starting Saudah around 8:45, 9ish p.m. Remember, we burned the chametz around 11 o'clock in the morning, a.m. So we took almost 9 to 10 hours. So be smart, drink a little bit. Eat the fruit, some grapes. Even fruit, eat with caution. So you come with the desire to eat them. We'll get to it, B'ezras Hashem, when we study this halacha. Otherwise, you won't fulfill the mitzvah. So you see halacha that teaches you to eat, not to eat. Even if you permit it to eat, it should be with cautious. Be careful about it. Okay? There's no mitzvah to eat till you get suffocated.
I heard that some people the day before, the same day we're going to do Pesach, I saw them, one of the markets, eating all these donuts, like, that's our custom to eat, all this bread.
I don't know any custom like that. It sounds to me it's like pigs, nothing than that. People after Shabbat, after the Pesach, they're running all the way to the grocery store, and they have to buy pita. They even crackers. Well, you can't control your desires. You know, it says in the Kabbalah, if one refrain from something that he wants most, especially even on Shabbat, or you're during the day, you have a bowl full of pistachio. You know you can't eat pistachio, you can't eat one, right? Did you eat one today? You can't eat one. The taste is so good, you must eat another one, right? So you eat one, and then you see there are three more. Everybody desires is to finish the ball. If you're refraining, saying, you know what, I want very much, but I hold myself, this is how you break the evil inclination, by the way. You get for that a great reward from Shamayim. And you can do that every day, on a daily basis, and every type of food you have here on the table. Whatever you see here. You refrain from eating it, you live just a little bit, you stop. This is the time you overcome your evil inclination. It's great.
Rabbi.
Yes.
I have a question.
Sure.
There's some people who have done the diet with matzah instead of eating the bread. Matzah is considered a motzi, right? So
No. For Sephardim, it's mezonot the whole year. Only on Pesach is hamotzi. Ashkenazim do hamotzi the entire year. Thanks for the question. We'll get to it when we study the halachot of Passover. B'ezras Hashem. B'ezras Hashem, when I come back from Eretz Israel. Whatever. Maybe we'll do, I don't know, I'll try to do maybe live when I be in a class or two. Okay. What time is it? Now. Okay. How long is the shiur so far?
22 minutes.
Okay. Huh?
23.
Okay. 2 more minutes. So, we ask a question, if one is permissible to become suntan, you say suntan or suntened?
Suntan.
Suntan on Shabbat. You know, people like they have own private zone. Every time you do that, if you do that, it has to be with tzniut. Completely tzniut, even in your own private zone. Especially today, where people have binoculars and telescopes, they can see you from the moon.
The top of your roof.
So woman and man has to sit outside with kavod, dignity, and tzniut.
There's no way that
You should have tzniut inside your house as well.
you can't.
There was a lady named Kimchit. Kimchit, in the Talmud, all of her sons were beautiful and smart, intelligent. They all were high kohanim, high priest in the Beit HaMikdash. It's a zechut. Who can get something? So they asked her, on which zechut you had to have such children? You know what kind of answer she gave?
Sneer.
You know what type of tzniut she had?
The world never saw her.
Exactly. Spincha says,
Yes.
the wall, she said, the wall never saw my hair. Even if she wants to change her hair cover, she would do it under a blanket.
Wow.
And can you imagine if she was so strict about herself with tzniut, how she took care of her children. And tzniut, modesty, tzniut is not only about the clothing. What type of clothing? And it's not only clothing, it's the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you address yourself to other people. You can wear the most tzniut clothes in the world, not too tight, black or white or very soft colors, not red or pink or purple or yellow that draw attention, okay? But you scream, "Whoa, what is that? Rah, rah." You're very loud. You draw attention. This is not tzniut. You can be very quiet, very soft talking, but you dress up without tzniut. So it has to be the mix of the two. Combination of how you act, how you behave, how you talk, and how you dress. Okay? Aliyah Shalom, Shishimi now from Eretz Israel. Shiur live. Okay. Any questions? Now, the next part of the class that we'll do Bezrat Hashem next week, we'll have to discuss bandaging wounds. When it's permitted, how it's permitted, so forth and so on. So we've learned today about putting oil or liquidish cream on your hand, which is permitted. Exercising without sweating, it's permitted. Walking or you say power walking, it's permitted. Not jogging and so forth and so on. And if you have a special permission from the doctor, it's also permitted. And diet, it's fine, not at the expense of Torah and mitzvot. You can say, why you don't come to shul? Oh, the doctor says I should not wake up before 8 o'clock every day. No, I'm under a very strict diet.
Give me his number.
He should throw you and the doctor from the window.
On Shabbos?
In this case, on Shabbos and Yom Kippur is permitted. You want to do diet at the expense of Hashem, mitzvot and Torah? You want beracha in your actions and everything you do? You want blessings? Follow the Torah, not at the expense of Torah. Because if you do go against the mitzvot, you're just creating persecutors. An angel that talk badly against you. That doesn't help. Guys, we're going to go to the next part of the shiur, which is Musar. We'll finish for the day the laws of medical treatment on Shabbat. I'll see you in 5 minutes. On behalf of our Israel Foundation, and thank you. Toda Rabba. Shavua Tov.